We hit a reef after a tropical storm in the Pacific off the coast of Fiji. And essentially we went aground and we all had to don our life jackets, hit the muster stations and prepared to abandon ship. My father always taught me, he was an ex-captain. One hand for you, one hand for the boat. You stay safe always. Preparation is key before going to sea, the safety of everybody on board. So my name's Crook. I started yachting when I was 18 years old. I'm 47 now. I've been through various roles on board vessels, starting from deckhand, working my way up to captain, mostly on motorboats, charter and private. Around 25 plus years of experience. There've been numerous occasions, but one occasion that springs to mind was basically on my first vessel that I ever crewed on at 18. We hit a reef after a tropical storm in the Pacific off the coast of Fiji, and essentially we went aground. And we all had to don our life jackets, hit the muster stations and prepared to abandon ship. Fortunately, the hull wasn't pierced, so we managed to limp back to port, all in one piece, and everyone's safe. So yeah, that was a scary situation. The importance of crew knowing what their jobs are on board a boat when it comes to an emergency situation, knowing where the equipment is, how the equipment's used. It's exceedingly important that everybody knows their role on board so that in an emergency, it all flows smoothly. Well, firstly, once again, the importance of crew knowing what they're doing, knowing how all their equipment works from captain down to the junior stewardess and junior deckhand. Everybody needs to know what they're doing on board in case of that emergency. I think it's also important that if you've got guests on board, that they know what they're supposed to do in an emergency as well. And the crew should inform them before the boat leaves port, where their life jackets are just in case they need to grab them. How to put on a life jacket, how to put on an immersion suit, what the various alarms sound like, so they don't get scared, basically. I mean, preparation is key before going to sea for the safety of everybody on board. Well, as sales and service, we're constantly updating our knowledge on the various regulations that change, IMO regulations, flag state regulations. It's a constant learning curve because they're always updating. So we're constantly online. We're always talking to surveyors. We get a lot of feedback from boats as well, who, especially the larger vessels, that know exactly what they need to do on board and what regulations have changed. So we're always updating our knowledge and providing that knowledge to clients when need be. Quite often it can get confusing for boats, so we're here to help if they need it. I think that all the safety equipment is important. I mean, there isn't one item that should be cast aside as less important than the other. From life rafts to life jackets. I mean, your life jacket is your first stop for safety, so that would be at the top of the list. Ensuring that you have a good life jacket as well, one that's serviced when need be, when the manufacturer's state is essential to your safety. I mean, floating around in a life jacket that doesn't work is not a good thing. So I think in general, all the safety equipment on board is important for crew and guests. Well, again, we go back to the fact that we're constantly learning here at OS. We're constantly updating our spec sheets, our regulation sheets. We're constantly online, in contact with surveyors. It's an ongoing thing, so that we have the answers for the clients when they do call us or email us with important questions regarding safety. There are lots of superstitions. One that springs to mind and one that I've never done. In fact, I did do it once when I was a junior deckhand, is whistling when you're at sea. That's a big no-no, because the superstition is that when you whistle, you bring on the wind, you bring on the storm, which is not a good thing. My father always taught me, he was an ex-captain, when I first started on yachts, was one hand for you and one hand for the boat. You stay safe always, one hand for you. And that's something that I've always had in my mind when at sea.